Hello everyone, welcome back to the 2022 Pokemon Trading Card Game Bremen Regional Championships. I'm Freya Pierce, back here with Amy Wosley, and my goodness, what a time we've had still, like more and more crazy matches. That round 6 absolutely an insanely, it's just a completely insane different Mew list.
It was bizarre,
a
but
convincing
fantastic.
2-0 win, yeah, it was absolutely love to see it. So we've got 3 more rounds of Swiss today, so we are going into round 7. We are starting to get into those final stages where we really finally getting to see what's actually going to make it into day 2 and what's not. And we have, what I'd like to think is another quite spicy match for you guys.
I cannot stress how excited I am for this one, so please stay tuned because I can guarantee it's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah, no personal bias at all, right?
None.
Yeah, all will be explained in a second, but yeah, we will be featuring Alessandro Cremascoli from Italy, another very well-known player from Italy. He's had lots of success in the past. Recent special event winner, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
So very recent success there against Edmund Kuras, who is a fairly well-known player from the UK as well. Had like a few bits of success here and there. And I believe the players are just setting up now, so we'll be ready to flip over to them shortly. But yeah, I think they've got the headsets on, so yeah, now we can talk about the lists a little bit. So Edmund is playing Arceus Bibarel with some dark type attackers, but kind of not really the sort of stuff you'd expect necessarily.
No, certainly not a list that we've seen before in its entirety. Definitely not what you would typically expect.
Yes.
So I think it's an interesting build. It clearly is doing well today. As we can see from the prize cards, you can see it features Zamazenta as well.
Yeah, Zamazenta V, the new one from that allows you to has the ability that lets you just discard your whole hand and draw 5 cards. So and also I believe it has the Revenge Blast attack that lets you do more damage depending on how many prize cards your opponent has taken or you've taken.
Absolutely, and Alessandro is rocking a Decidueye Dark Box deck.
We love to see it. This is Alessandro is kind of known for occasionally just really bringing the spice at tournaments, and today is no exception, it would seem.
It is so fun to see that Sky Circus kick off with a Bird Keeper, and with so much dark in format, hitting weakness with Decidueye, stopping those Tech Vs that are coming in. Yeah, Decidueye will get hit by your V-Stars, and we did see a V-Union today, so that's not an impossibility. But being able to hit those dark types weakness and starting with the Hooper from Edmund could be really strong.
It could. Also, I'm fairly sure doesn't Decidueye also not get hit by, it's not just Vs, it's also, it does protect itself from all V types, right, including V-Union and V-Star, I thought.
Yes, it's just V-Union and V-Star, yes. But however, Edmund's Crobat can do damage to it because it can hit for poison.
Right, okay, so that will be the out for Edmund, essentially.
Yeah, Edmund's out here against Decidueye are V-Stars and poisoning with Crobat.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure like the protection against Vs from the Decidueye is just a blanket against all types of Vs.
Is it?
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, yes.
Because because all types of different Vs fall under Pokemon V, both like V-Stars, V-Max, V-Union.
Yes.
So actually, yeah, they're literally just a poison.
Yes, so Edmund's out here against that Decidueye is Crobat.
Yeah, just Crobat poisoning and hoping for the best, which is not really ideal. Alessandro went first, had a pretty great start, an energy down on a Rowlet straight away. Meanwhile, Edmund starts with a quick ball, discarding a Metal Energy, and is going to grab, well, this would be like an Arceus V from the deck, just trying to get that Arceus set up as soon as possible.
It's going to be important to their game as well to be able to get that that Crobat engine fueled that they're going to need. Or a lot of bosses and a lot of swinging around with this. Otherwise, they have other things that they'll be able to use to affect the board and bring Alessandro's Pokemon forward that are increasing their rate of play.
Yeah, but really, we're just having another look at the list here just to make sure, kind of see, is there anything here that Edmund can make use of to try and punch through the Decidueye's ability? And I think the answer is honestly no. So
no, it looks like just Crobat, but they do play 2 Crobat V and 1 V Max, so there is potential there.
Yeah, and the Crobat V Max, it does the first attack, I believe it does even more poison, doesn't it?
Yes.
And
Decidueye's health is not that high.
No, but it's still not ideal, right? Especially when, like you also already mentioned, the Decidueye can hit a lot of weakness as well. So
yes, and it can hit bench damage, 20 to 2 Pokemon on the bench. So yeah, it's not only hitting hard in some instances, it's hitting for weakness, which is even worse.
Yeah, so I think Alessandro's going to be pretty happy in this matchup overall. Of course, he has to play it through in a way that he can sort of make use of that, but he's getting himself set up pretty nicely right here. We do see also this is one of the most blingy decks I think I've seen all day. Look at the amount of we got the shiny collection stuff, we've got full arts, we've got gold cards, we've got the whole shebang, and we do have a bird keeper right here.
Is Rowlet going to go in for the free Sky Circus? I think he is.
Yes, so
Gonna get that Arceus.
of course, and or even
no!
not.
Rare Candy straight into Decidueye.
And yeah, I think Edmund's going to read that and think, uh-oh.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Edmund's reading Decidueye is not good.
I think Alessandro, being a good sport, just kind of explaining really what it does. And then, yeah, I'm reading that and thinking,
oh, dear.
Yeah, oh, boy, I might be in for a rough time.
It's not ideal. Decidueye has such weak matchups in this meta because Mew goes straight through it.
Yeah, yes, of course, with that Max Miracle attacker, of course, ignoring the protection effect that the Decidueye has. But this isn't Mew. This is
No. So Alessandro's been almost really clever here, I think, because if the Mew games are not as popular anymore, Alessandro still has access to Moltres, which is really strong against Mew, then Decidueye's a great idea right now. I think it was an interesting play for today.
Very clever meta pickup. And I mean, one of the crazy things here is just kind of seeing a deck that plays 3 different colors of like basic energy, right? We've got dark, grass, 4 even. We've got 4 darkness, 2 grass, 1 water, and 1 fighting. So we've almost got like a whole rainbow of different energy types here. And yeah, there it is. The attack doing 90 to the active, doubling for weakness, 180, and then 20 to the bench Arceus.
Yeah.
How does Edmund even respond here, other than obviously just trying to get through that Crobat as quick as possible?
Starbirth, yeah. He's going to have to save them in this one. Now that they know what they're doing, though, if they do manage to pull a win out on this one, they'll quite easily know what the game plan is for game 2.
Yeah.
That secret knowledge of Decidueye is gone now. The element of surprise is no more. So they're now trying to figure out, obviously, how they're going to get around it.
Also, is that a Dunsparce being considered for pickup? Is that the attacking option here?
Could Dunsparce take a knockout in this game?
Hold on. Again.
The answer is yes. Theoretically, it could, but
that might be the only option. Yeah, just
practicality.
So, I mean, for 2 colorless energy, roll out. It does 30 damage. That can eventually KO a Decidueye after some deliberation. It's wow. Yeah, I think it's safe to say when Edmund was considering what he might face going into this tournament that.
This wasn't it.
No, Decidueye was not one of the options he was thinking about.
And I've only just noticed Edmund's got 1 Crobat prize.
Oh, gosh, that's even worse as well.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah. There's the 1 Crobat, which, they've clocked on now. Right, here's my out.
Yeah.
Poison damage.
Yeah. It's good on 2 levels as well, because, of course, able to make good use of that Dark Asset ability to draw more cards as well, which is always nice.
Yeah, and Alessandro, hard retreating for them is really bad because they are low on grass energy in this deck.
Yes.
They've got 1 attached now. If they manual retreat with that grass energy, if they're forced into that in any way, then it's going to lower the consistency of their deck immediately.
Yes, it is. And in the meantime, whilst Edmund isn't able to set up this Crobat to attack with the poison damage, there is also potential for Edmund to just take some knockouts of boss's orders, bring up the Sobble, bring up the Drizzile, just cut off the consistency engine a little bit.
Yeah.
But eventually he is going to have to deal with this Decidueye, and that's going to be when the problems maybe start.
Absolutely. So it's just absolutely crazy. Like, I really respect the decision to go for Decidueye in this tournament because it is risky, but at the same time, clearly it has had reward today.
Yeah.
And I'm thrilled to see it doing well.
Yes, so there we go. A pass from Edmund to back to Alessandro. And now Alessandro's got to decide what he wants to. Oh, bowl! Boss's orders on
the Bidoof.
Yeah, because, I mean, in theory, that could have been another outright. You could, I mean, the Barrel's attack, it's not amazing, but it's something. But Alessandro says, nope, I'm not even going to let you have that option.
It's true. Crobat's also grass weak, though.
Isn't Crobat fighting weak?
I think.
No.
Is it fighting week?
Yeah, because
that's okay then. Yeah, half the dart types are fighting week, half of them are grass week.
Yeah, so it's very confusing.
But yeah, so that's not too bad. So at least At least the Bidoof, yeah, taking away their draw engine. They've used Starburst. That immediately cuts them off.
Yes. I'm going to double check that just to make sure that I'm not messing that up. But I'm fairly sure that's right here.
Yes, no, I think you are right, yes,
Yeah.
because Urshifu definitely does double damage to it,
Yeah.
so that definitely is. But even so, like, Decidueye can still do a decent amount of damage because it 2-hit KOs a Crobat.
Yeah. And so not quite there yet, but in theory, Alessandro could actually take a snipe KO on the Hooper V as well, just either with using the attack twice on the Decidueye or by one bench snipe damage plus a quick shooting from an Inteleon.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and yeah, they've got the option to Inteleon here as well. So any damage on Edmund's bench just keeps getting accelerated. So that Hooper is absolutely nowhere near safe.
Yeah.
That Hooper will be going down
Yeah,
some point in this game.
No question. So
through pings from that Decidueye.
and
or
yes,
lots of little Inteleon pings as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how quickly Edmund can react to this and start getting that poison on the Decidueye, because if Alessandro cannot retreat to protect the Decidueye enough times, they're going to need more than one Decidueye in this game.
Yeah, that is true. I think the main problem for Edmund is that I think a lot of the time it's just not going to be enough, you know. So you've got some, you know, damage going on with the poison, but one damage a turn, that's what, a 16 turn KO on a Decidueye?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's got 160 HP, so...
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, B-Barrel can attack the Decidueye, but it only does 100 damage, and it's a coin flip to do that damage. It's not worth it. I think they've got to go for the Crobat.
It's... basically, both options are really not great.
They're not. No, they're not great options, but... Yeah, the amount of times that I have seen when Decidueye used to be really popular, when it didn't have as many shred options in the format, Crobat was one of the main ways that people got around Decidueye when it used to be popular, when it first came out.
Yeah, because there wasn't really much else.
No, there wasn't much else. So poison damage was genuinely one of the easy ways out, and why a lot of Decidueye players played lots of Birdkeeper and Escape Rope and Switch, because they were just getting out of that constantly.
And Edmund, recognizing the out here, goes for the boss's orders on the quick shooting Inteleon, brings it up, knocks it out with the Arceus V-Star, with the Trinity Nova, and just loads up that Crobat on the bench.
Yep, and now, hopefully, we'll see Alessandro attempt to build up another Decidueye on the bench. However, they've got one Rowlet in prizes, so maybe they're going to struggle. Because they do only run two. Yeah, it's... so one's going to have to get knocked out, and ordinary Rodded or Clara'd back into play. I don't think Alessandro has to worry about that for a while, though, because the poison damage is going to it's going to take a while for it to add up to any point where Alessandro feels threatened. Yeah, unless we get the VMAX.
Yes, at that point, obviously, they can do more.
Yeah. But Alessandro doesn't know about the VMAX yet. No, that is true. And now back to Alessandro's turn as the Decidueye gets promoted back to deactive. No matter what, Alessandro's taking 2 prizes this turn. Another attack will do 90 deactive, and then the other 20 residual bench damage will get the KO on the Hooper V. And here comes Big Shady, the Inteleon coming down with that Shady Dealing's ability to get 2 more trainers out of the deck. Absolutely. And of course, we have Hooper as well on Alessandro's side. That is true. Anything that is damaged on the bench, if it's within 90 HP of being KO'd, it's still a little bit scary. Yes. So it can still do an awful lot of damage. So Edmund's not in a bad position here necessarily, because there is still only one Decidueye threat. Not that they know that. No, not that they know that. And their mind is probably mostly preoccupied now with thinking, okay, there is just this one Decidueye out, but how do I deal with it? Oh, and they're using up the Clara. Okay. I guess maybe they're thinking, because I do believe from the list, they only play the one quick shooting Inteleon. Correct me if I'm wrong. We can just have a look at that quickly. So, oh no, that. Yeah. So, yes, they only played the one. So I think it is quite important to get that back, just to get that damage pressure on. So I imagine that was probably the reason why they went for the Clara there. Yeah. And maybe thinking, okay, by the time I get to the point where I need the other Decidueye, I should be able to pull out the prizes or pull the Rowlet out the prizes, and set it that way to the point where it's not as much of an issue. We do see that the quick ball, and believe needs to going to use quick ball straight away, discard the Galarian Moltres, not going to need it in this matchup, and grab a Sobble. Brilliant. Really strong play.
Edmund probably really wanting to find the VMAX next turn. If I feel like I'm misremembering things now because it's I do recall that it does have an attack that does more poison damage, doesn't it? Like it's I'm not.
It's a hit and run style attack where it
Yes.
poisons and brings itself
That
back
was
to the
it.
bench.
Yeah.
Yes.
So so you could essentially just promote stuff that you are more comfortable with being KO'd, but no, it's still only 1 poison damage per turn. So I guess the main benefit,
is.
So
the main benefit is that you're bouncing back to bench so that you're not then getting damaged further.
Yeah, both bouncing back to the bench and also it's just a higher HP thing, so it takes longer for it to be knocked out. So
the Decidueye doesn't do a lot of damage.
No.
It's base 90 damage,
Yes.
so it's not.
That's a 4-hit knockout on a Crobat VMAX.
Yeah, which is why they're taking the time to whittle it down with these pings.
Yes.
With these 20 damage counters a turn, extra residual damage from the main attack.
Because Alessandro knows that in future it's going to be the hardest thing to knock out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Power Play gets played from Edmund, shuffling the boss's orders back in.
Yeah, again, one of the ways that they get out of this is just to keep knocking out those bigger Inteleon.
Yes.
That keep doing the bench damage as well.
Yeah, that would help a lot because, of course, those quick shooting pings, they add up more and more. Edmund is shaking his head about something.
They seem to have had a laugh about something.
Yeah, not quite sure what's going on there. And I think that's going to be the Zamazenta V's ability coming in. So we've not seen this card a huge amount, but the ability is pretty strong. It just, it kind of, similar to the Zacian V from Sword and Shield base set, it has an ability that sort of ends your turn but gives you something. So the Zacian V let you look at the top 3 cards of the deck and then keep any cards there that you wanted, but if any were Metal Energy, you can attach them to the Zacian. The Zamazenta V just lets you discard your hand and draw 5 cards. Pretty strong.
It is really strong, and in a situation like this, surely even stronger.
Well, yeah,
because there is no valuable attack apart from if they used the Crobat.
Exactly.
But it's not inactive right now. They would have to hard retreat the Arceus. The Arceus can survive one more attack from the Decidueye, so it's a bit of a why not. Yeah,
you just play a bit more patiently, wait that 1 extra turn. There is a ton of spread damage going on right now here. We see the quick shooting Inteleon goes back down. Quick shooting gets activated, and then the splitting arrow gets used as well. 90 to the active and 20 each to the Zamazenta V and the Crobat V.
Edmund could really do with a Sharon's Care right now.
Yes, that would be very, very nice. He does play it, I believe.
He plays 2.
He plays 2, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that could undo some of the hard work that Alessandro has just put in and sort of pick up all those cards attached to the
definitely
Arceus.
soften the blow of all of these attacks, because you would be taking away a 2-prize situation from Alessandro where they've kind of got that Crobat almost ready to knock out as well.
Yeah. I really just wish we could hear what 2 of them are saying right now. It's clear that they're having a bit of a laugh over something. Alessandro is known as a very chatty player, right? He's sort of very, very, very passionate when he plays stuff like that. He's absolutely a great guy. Also well-known content creator as well. Of course, we've seen him. He's very active in the community and such. But yeah, here he is, like I said before, always bringing in the spice, and today, no exception. I don't think either of us would have expected the Decidueye to make it, to be near the top tables, essentially, this regionals.
Absolutely.
So.
Oh, Dunsparce hitting the bench.
Oh.
Hello, little buddy. He's going to help out.
It's an out, right? It can hit the.
It can hit the Decidueye.
Yeah.
It can. You could. Theoretically, Crobat VMAX down into Dunsparce, ready for a hit.
Maybe that's the move. Yeah, the Zamazenta V ability gets used again, so Evan discarding his hand, drawing another 5 cards. We see the Leon being used. Wow, okay. So, of course, the supporter that just makes you do 30 more damage to the active.
Oh, Dunsparce took a little ping.
Oh, no. And there could be more bench damage coming, I guess. So, yeah.
2 more prize cards.
Yeah. KO on the active, 22. Oh, and this is a problem as well, because now that Dunsparce down, if Edmund doesn't pick it up, quick shooting wins the game next turn.
Yep. So.
Wait, is it? Actually, it might just be unavoidable because.
I think it might be because of the Crobat damage as well, right?
Well, no, it's that Edmund can't KO both Decidueye and Inteleon.
No.
So no matter what, that Dunsparce is going down next turn. Oh dear.
Unless they're able to scoop up net.
Yes, that's true. But they don't. That's sort of Edmund's deck doesn't usually play it.
Nope.
Yeah, finally
It does not.
there comes down the Crobat VMAX at long last, a little bit late.
Oh, I wish he could have done a little bit of damage
Yeah.
before that. I'm wondering if he's loaded it up with energy. I feel like he knows, but he didn't attack with it, and he had the opportunity to, and it will poison the Decidueye. And regardless if he has to wait a few turns for that to do damage, it still can. It is technically an out. And even then, if you have to attack with a B-Barrel, maybe, you're in range, whereas you're not in range with a B-Barrel normally. You need 40 extra damage. So
no, it's true. I think, honestly, this is just going to be a very hard matchup for Edmund to navigate because
100%.
Like, the out is there, like you mentioned. You can poison with the Crobat, but it's such a slow out. And
oh, definitely. But if Alessandro has burnt too many resources and cannot retreat the Decidueye, Edmund does play Sharon's Care, and you put forward an Arceus, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and then you Sharon's Care, bring it back, and you just wait. You just stall that Decidueye to death.
Yeah, that is basically the only... That is the out, essentially, for Edmund. Oh, are we going to see it? Here it comes! The rollout on the Dunsparce does 30 damage to the Decidueye.
I'm so proud of that Dunsparce for being brave.
Same. Edmund recognizes the situation, having a bit of a laugh, saying, "Come on, Dunsparce, do your thing."
Amazing.
Roll out.
That was fantastic. I hope that now that Edmund knows what's happening, I hope that they can prepare and react well in this second game. I'd love to see this go to a third, if I'm honest.
Yes, it is admittedly unlikely, but let's not count Edmund out. He clearly recognizes there are outs in this matchup, but they are just hard to play to, and maybe now he can play to them to the maximum that he can. The little Dunsparce that could.
The little Dunsparce that could, and boy did he. I love that play so much, and it's so nice to see people having fun with the game.
Yes, it is. It's always it's always lovely to see people having a laugh, having a.
They didn't have to. They could have. They didn't even have to bench that Dunsparce.
No,
they did not need to. The game could have gone on. So actually, by playing the Dunsparce, it was a fun way of saying I concede, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well.
He did not need to play it. He knew that it was going to get pinged a few times. He could have stalled that game on. There was Sharon's Care. There was the Crobat option. So I think Edmund just realised, look, I'm too far behind in this. I know what's going on now.
Yeah.
But we'll have a little bit of fun with this Dunsparce first.
Yeah. There is something very important to mention, though, which I think we kind of alluded to in game one, but it's a bit better to sort of actually draw proper attention to. Alessandro's deck is not the most consistent in the world.
No.
Yeah, he's got he's got a consistency engine going. Of course, he has access to stuff with I believe he's playing the Inteleon engine.
Yes. So that is great when it works.
Yes, and I think the other way Edmund could maybe sneak a win here is if Alessandro just isn't able to find the pieces to set up the Decidueye.
Yeah, absolutely. And Inteleon does make that a little bit more consistent. But again, if it works, if the prize cards are correct.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ifs and buts because there's a lot of searching for exactly the thing you need.
Yeah. Like say if Rare Candy is a prize, if Decidueye is a prize, if Rowlet's a prize, any one of those could really scupper up Alessandro's setup, and then suddenly Edmund has an opening to really sort of run away with the game. But we'll have to see how this game plays out. We know what the matchup is. Yes, it seems a bit one-sided, but do not count Edmund out just yet. No,
I think Edmund could win this. They've got to be a little bit clever about it, and that's okay because they're definitely skilled enough to do so.
Yeah.
And then Alessandro, a brick can happen. Any deck can brick.
Yes.
If you play more than 7 energy, you can technically have 1 Rowlet in hand and 6 energy. So it could all go wrong.
It could all go wrong, yes. But here we go. The prize cards have been put out. Let's see what gets prized. This will be vital, of course.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay. That's fine for Alessandro, but it is weird to look at.
It's bizarre to look at.
Yeah. Got sort of double right hand, double level ball. And
the energy search is interesting too because they, like mentioned before, they run lots of sporadic, small amounts of energy. So their starting hand's actually not too bad because they do have the Rowlet and a grass energy, but not looking like much else.
No, I see a Bird Keeper.
And some Drizzile.
That's not great, actually.
It's not great. The energy fix is there, but not much else.
Does he even have a single draw out?
No, because he can't use the Bird Keeper or the bot. There's a boss.
Oh dear, that's a dead hand.
We are praying for the top deck here.
Yeah, that's.
this could just be Edmund's game.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we'll just move on to game 3 because this could be it.
This is exactly what we were talking about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Every deck can brick, and Alessandro does not look too chuffed about it.
No, so...
And I wouldn't be either.
Yeah, and Edmund, of course, going to make sure... I think the thing that's very important is even when you're dealing with a one-sided matchup not in your favor, you still have to like play your deck effectively. You got to go through your motions. You got to set up as well as you can because you never know. Maybe there will be the situation that you can exploit, get a quick win, and all of a sudden it looks like a winnable game.
Yeah, absolutely. And this sort of thing can happen. The Rowlet and the Active is the worst thing to start with Alessandro's deck, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, they're Big Charm, Dark Energy, Dark Asset for the full 6.
See, that is a fantastic turn for Edmund.
Solid, solid, solid. So 6 cards being drawn. Looks like some more energies. Yeah, great. Definitely want some of those. Is that a Bidoof I see as well?
Well, considering one's in prizes, that's quite nice.
Yeah, it is quite nice. Yeah, it is a Bidoof down. So
lovely.
Access to Bit Barrel next turn for some Industrious Incisors drawing. Love that ability name still so much.
A great name.
Yeah, and but there's not much else. But I think that's fine, honestly. You're pretty content passing here. You've got the energy on the Arceus.
You can pass, or if you didn't like your hand, you could use Samazenda's ability.
That is true, yeah. And maybe that's what Edmund's thinking about. But no, just deciding to pass.
Oh,
what did Alessandro draw?
Oh,
a scoop up there! Oh my goodness! Oh, the scoop up there!
Oh, that's the best way. Alessandro says, no, I lose on my own terms. Thank you. Hey, that is a literal scoop. A literal scoop. And we go to game 3.
Sorry, I need a moment.
That's a fantastic way out.
Yeah, so Alessandro recognizing, my hand is entirely unplayable, and there's no way that Edmund doesn't do an attack that does enough damage to KO my Rowlet. So game 3, here we go.
The top deck sealed their fate.
Yes.
Almost literally.
It was a sign saying, you know what to do, Alessandro.
You know what to do, Alessandro. Play me. Down goes the scoop up net to scoop their game.
Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic. And it kind of goes with what we were saying before. These two guys, obviously, they're having a good time here. They're having a lot of fun. And Alessandro always like a good-spirited player, even in the face of having to scoop of a scoop up net. Oh, you love to see it.
Oh, they are just fantastic. It's, again, lovely to see people having fun playing the game. Yeah. So it's the best kind of match.
Hold on, having fun playing a game?
Apparently it's allowed nowadays.
Whoa. Oh my goodness. So okay, let's see what happens here in this game 3.
Oh, I'm cheering them both on for this game 3.
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
Very much looking forward to this.
Yeah.
After that start. Ooh.
It's
not what you want to see.
No. You got to feel for Alessandro there after taking like a pretty dominant game 1, right? And then you just have to start with a lone Rowlet and a completely dead hand, and your top deck basically tells you what to do. It's like
it's they took the hint, and it's Edmund's going to be hoping for one more of those.
Yes.
One fresh order of donk, please.
Yes.
And Alessandro's going to hope for a game a little bit more like game 1, and really that's the out, isn't it?
Is it still a donk if like your opponent does it to themselves?
Not really, no. Oh, what a champion. I love that.
Yeah, same here. So here we go. Prizes again.
Let's see. I feel like we need a drum roll for this one this time because of last time.
No kidding. So they're taking a little bit to do it. I think they might be going...
Oh, they have plenty of time for this game, don't they?
Yeah, that's true. Okay, there's 1 Decidueye prize. It's not ideal, but... Oh, 3 level...
And 2 evolution incense.
Just all the search. All the search.
Oh, my goodness. Those Drizzles are not going to be... being very shady, are they?
No.
Not many shady dealings.
No, unless Alessandro can like hard draw into them somehow. But at least he does have the pieces at least to get the Decidueye out, but barely. If you even like search them out in the first place, that's horrendous.
This could be rough. It's not impossible. Their supporters will be putting in a lot of work here.
Yes, absolutely. Meanwhile, from Edmund's side, 1 Sharon's Care prize is not great.
And an Arceus Fiendster, but honestly, those don't look too bad.
It could be a lot worse.
Yes, I think Alessandro's prizes are bullying him today. That's not very fair,
just
is
a
it?
bit. Okay, Rowlet down. That's a good start. There's a Grass Energy in hand as well. Is there means to draw more?
Lovely. Looks like the 2 Raihan. They're still next to each other. They're in the hand again. But obviously, that's the worst place to have them at the start of the game.
Yeah, and also, I'm not sure if I saw any draw supporters in the hand still.
I'm not sure. I think it was just those right hand. And an Inteleon, a rare candy, a boss.
Okay.
And a
there's
Birdkeeper.
Okay, there's Birdkeeper. So actually, we could be seeing the Sky Circus come in, maybe.
Maybe it's going to be a bit repeat of game one, because they do have the rare candy in hand. So if they do hard draw into the Decidueye or one of their remaining evolution incense.
Yeah, how many are they playing? They're playing 3.
3,
okay.
so it is just the one left.
Oh, that's harsh, especially considering they have 1 Decidueye prize as well. So
Yeah.
they essentially have 3 of their 5 Decidueye outs prized.
They have 0 other search for that.
Ouch.
They can Snorlax, Gorman dies and attempt to get it.
Yeah. And
But that's it.
Well, especially because the problem being Alessandro wasn't able to get out of Sobble turn 1, so not even a Drizzile is an out to
Nope,
it.
that's not an option.
Yeah.
So their only option to get that Decidueye is to top deck it, bird keep it, or manage to get, again, an evolution incense off either of those.
Yeah, so let's see.
Ooh.
Let's see what happens here. Edmund, again, going through his setup as best he can. Double turbo down on a Arceus V.
Looking really similar to game one so far.
Yeah, but still like solid setup. You know that he's going to be able to get some tackers out, and Crobat as well, very important.
Nice and early.
Yeah.
Nice early Crobat, brilliant. Now we pray for Alessandro.
Yeah, so Crobat's going
Because
to be able.
Edmund's had a strong start considering the matchup.
Yes, so Crobat down, 5 cards drawn off of the Dark Asset. Definitely going to be happy about that. And it's a two-faceted win, right? It's the fact that it draws you cards and it's your out to actually hit the Decidueye.
Yeah, brilliant.
And
Multi-use Crobat is what we like to see.
Yes.
Nice when a deck incorporates the fact that you can attack with the Crobat, brings that VMAX into play. Yeah, it's just fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, very aggressive here with the Professor's Research, just dumping that whole hand.
There's a Marnie, a Raihan, a double Turbo Energy, and 2 Dark Energy by the look of that.
Yeah, I think Edmund just really wants to sort of dig deep here as quickly as possible.
Yeah. And, like, if they assume that Alessandro has a dead hand, then they're realizing quite early on that actually, if I can get set up fast enough with any attacker, then these two are down. The Moltres can't do anything at this stage of the game. It is not very useful at all. That was a Sonia.
Oh, that's a very strong find from Alessandro. It doesn't get the Decidueye, that's the only thing, but it does.
But do they play the Birdkeeper or the Sonia?
You see, here's the thing. I think that with the Sonia, because you can use that to get a second Rowlet, I think that's a safe bet. Because you go like Rowlet Sobble, and that seems really solid. So.
Yep. And yeah, again, you're just protecting yourself. Edmund isn't going to be ready for at least one more turn.
No.
And Moltres.
the top 3 cards of the deck.
top 3. Oh.
That's okay. To be fair,
my gosh.
it wasn't the Decidueye, so it was the right call. But imagine the top 3 was literally Sobble, Drizzile.
Yeah. Yeah. So that looks like the right call to me. And then you can start getting things kicked off. That Moltres is happy to be the little sacrifice inactive at the moment.
Yeah.
And then a second Rowlet prevents Edmund from being able to boss and knock out the Rowlet, and then that's just not an option for Alessandro anymore.
Yes.
So regardless of one Decidueye being in prizes, which they'll be realizing right about now.
Yes. Yeah, it's very sensible play from Alessandro. I like that a lot. I think the Birdkeeper was just way too risky, especially with the knowledge of the amount of search outs that are prized.
Yeah, knowing the amount of level balls in the prize cards.
Yeah, so there's a pass from Alessandro after the Sonia. Back to Edmund now, as he'll be probably looking to just get the Arceus V-Star down and just go for an attack. And it does have it. Ultra Ball. Sadly, the Dunsparce going away to the discard pile this time.
He's not to be trusted after last time. Sorry, Dunsparce. Off you go.
Yeah, it's like, clearly burrowing away into the discard pile. Now, Dark Energy getting discarded as well. And yeah, no time wasted. Straight for the Arceus V-Star off of that Ultra Ball. And going to have a quick look through just to see what else is prized. Thankfully, the Crobat VMAX not being one of them.
Yes, thank goodness. For that extra HP.
Yes.
Tasty.
V-Star? Yeah, Arceus V-Star going straight down. V-Star power being used. Starbirth going to grab, I'd imagine, a switching out and...
maybe a B-Barrel?
Maybe a barrel, yeah, just draw even more cards. Because Yeah, all you need is switching out to start hit with Trinity Nova and take the first knockout, right? Which seems pretty strong.
Yeah.
You could also go for a switch out in a boss's orders. That's pretty strong as well. In fact, that looks like that might be what Edmund has gone for. Just deal with one of the Rowlets at least.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's energy attachment, air balloon, and just boss the Rowlet with the energy, right? Oh no, bossing the Sobble.
They're going to stop him from setting up. I
Okay.
like that play.
This is really clever because Edmund recognizes that knocking out one Rowlet doesn't make it less likely that a Rowlet gets set up, but knocking out something that could search to pieces does. So
Absolutely.
I like this a lot, actually.
Probably, and they top deck to Drizzile.
Well, there you go, proof in the pudding right there.
Edmund proving why they're in this position.
Yeah.
Hey, and then the right hand, but here it goes. The Decidueye is here.
That is so clever. So Alessandro retreating with the Rowlet to get the energy in discard, so that you can then play the right hand and get the Decidueye out. That is galaxy brain right there.
Big brain. We love to see it. Waiting for Edmund to take a knockout, thinking, right, they're going to knock something out eventually, and then going in.
Yes.
Straight for the right hand, search the Decidueye. With those two right hand in hand from the start of the game have finally paid off.
Yeah, so there it is. Rare Candy Decidueye, and now Alessandro's thinking, okay, I'm now almost like racing against the clock, right? I know that Edmund doesn't.
I love that.
So Alessandro knows that Edmund has some outs to the Decidueye, but not much. So Alessandro's going to just try announcing attacks as quickly as possible, I imagine.
Yes, absolutely. And Edmund's doing all the right things that they could be doing right now.
Yes.
They are absolutely playing as best they can against Decidueye. Yeah, second Crobat. Yeah, absolutely, Edmund. Like, those are exactly the sorts of plays that I would expect to see against Decidueye now that it's, I say set up. It can't attack yet.
No, no, it can't. And
but it does stop Edmund from doing things.
Yes.
But a Bird Keeper into a Rowlet is pretty scary still, because the Rowlet can start to chip off damage at things quite early on. And it does mean that actually the Bidoof, it would be 10 damage away from KO.
Oh, that's true.
So if they play Zigzagoon...
I know Alessandro plays Zigzagoon. Does Edmund play?
They do not play Zigzagoon, so...
Oh, no, wait, no, that's Alessandro. Sorry, I'm mistaken. Alessandro does not play Zigzagoon, but I think I saw it in Edmund's list. Yeah, there's the one.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, so the Rowlet can't take a knockout yet.
No.
But it can get something closer to, so maybe we see a Bird Keeper Rowlet play, but then obviously Edmund can just knock out the Rowlet, so... Maybe they want that for a second Raihan. There is a strange sense of what next, because it could be anything from either player.
It really could. There goes Edmund's Zigzagoon into the discard pile along with Amani for an Ultra Ball. Probably going to be grabbing that Crobat VMAX, I would imagine, or maybe the barrel to draw more cards. And I think Edmund asking, did that Bidoof go down this turn? No. Fairly sure that was there down for a while. So again, it's always tricky when the players are discussing something, because you can.
Yeah, apparently they've been having a lot of banter. Apparently, at one point, Edmund said, "Can the Decidueye please be prized?" And then Alessandro said, "I played 2." So Edmund said, "Well, do you play the stage 1?" And Edmund said, "No, just 2 candies." So he told him.
What?
He told him how many candies and how many Decidueye he played.
Wow.
So Edmund has the knowledge of the deck.
Alessandro
but still has tough decisions to make. But it's nice to see that discord between the players is friendly, and they're having a good bit of banter with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Edmund still looks unsure about something. It's kind of something strange in the... what? I kind of wish I knew what they were talking about, because we can't even lip read really, right? Because obviously everyone's wearing masks, so...
Oh, Edmund took a KO and didn't take a prize card.
Oh, right. Oh, yes. Yeah, we completely missed that.
Yes,
wow, okay.
he KO'd the Sobble and didn't take a prize card.
Whoops. Yeah, okay. So I guess the judges are going to have to work on fixing that now. Yeah. Oh, that's bad on us. We missed that too.
I don't look at the prize cam kind of religiously.
No.
I only really look when it's prizes like Alessandro's.
Yeah, yeah.
If Alessandro had taken a prize, I'd be well on it because they're awful prize cards. But Edmund doesn't have such awful prize cards, so I wasn't really focusing.
Yeah, I think because we're just looking at the game state so much, and like the prize camp off to the side, we kind of assumed, oh yeah, of course Edmund took a prize, right? But no, apparently not.
No.
Oh dear.
Edmund giving themselves a disadvantage. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, so we're just going to have to wait for the judges to come over and resolve this. Yeah, we see the judges come over now. Like we always say, whenever a judge call happens on stream, these things happen over the course of games sometimes. It just sort of is how it is. And the judges are going to sort of work as quickly as they can to get this resolved.
Because it was quite a few turns ago.
Yeah, it was. And, I mean, it could have changed the way things played out. Of course, a lot of changes in the hand have happened since then, which could affect things, which makes things a bit more complicated. So I think, we're just going to have a quick cutaway just whilst this gets resolved. It's never fun being in a judge call situation. I've been there myself. In fact, I'll use the opportunity to tell a personal anecdote. So the one biggest judge call I was involved with was the final round of Worlds 2016 against Frank Diaz, and that was literally like a winning in for top 8 of Worlds that year. So yeah, that was. It's just a very awkward situation to be in, especially when it's like that high pressure. And these guys, they're potentially on the cusp of like a winning into day 2 of the regionals. So yeah, I know how unpleasant it is. I've been there, and I don't envy them at all. But the judges really do the best that they can to try and resolve these situations with the least amount of fuss, as it were.
When we're at this stage of the day as well, there's a lot of pressure. The players have been playing for hours.
Yes.
And although this venue is really well ventilated, there's still a lot of pressure. You're in one building for the entire day. Some players won't have had time to go out and get some air, so they really do have a lot of pressure on them at the same time. So that is such an easy mistake to make. It's not, hopefully, not a huge one, but we'll see what the judge comes back with. Fingers crossed for them both.
And it feels like extra weird as well, because it's essentially, in its most simplest interpretation, it's a mistake you made that actually disadvantages you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was clearly very unintentional.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be back to the game soon, but don't worry, the judges are absolutely working their hardest today as well. So big shout out to everyone on the staff who's doing a fantastic job today.
Yeah, what can be sometimes a bit of a thankless job, honestly, but we really should give as much thanks as we can, because without them, this one wouldn't be possible. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So our judges do work super hard, and it's really awesome to see them all smiling at the beginning of the day. So I can't praise them enough, really. So hopefully this will be resolved quick.
I mean, to be fair to you, you obviously have experience with TOing yourself, right? So I imagine it's kind of something you're very familiar with.
Oh yeah, all the time. It's and as you say, it can be a thankless job sometimes, but that's just what we do for the love of the game.
Yes, absolutely. No kidding.
And so it's just one of those things, and you will come across so many bizarre situations that you just couldn't imagine. The amount of absolutely crazy things that happen. You wouldn't think in all sorts of different formats. So it's lovely to see when we actually haven't had a lot of judge calls today. We've got all the way around to round 7
That's a good point, actually,
on stream with no judge calls.
Yeah, so
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty good track record so far. Like we didn't manage to make it the whole day, but we did eventually get there.
It was very close.
It was very close.
I think that's not so bad.
No. So given that this judge call is going on and they're trying to resolve this, let's take a sort of little bit of a step back and look at the big picture. We've seen the setup as it is on both sides right now. Alessandro does have a decision right out and with an energy, so imagine next turn be able to attach another one and start doing splitting arrow. How are we feeling about Edmund's position right now, given that obviously no donk happened?
No.
But it's still potentially tricky situation for him. Like, what's his best move going forward?
It's really tricky for Edmund going forward. Really, really tricky. I think what the best tactic for them, from my perspective, I think would be to poison the Decidueye, retreat back, maybe with the hit and run attack from a Crobat VMAX if they can get it. If they can't, just hard retreat.
Yeah.
Like attack, leave it one turn, hard retreat, and essentially stall out the game.
Yeah.
Essentially go into RCS, let it take as much damage as it can, remembering that there's a potential Leon, and then heal it off with Sharon's Care, and then set it back up again, maybe put Zamazenta in the active, and just essentially do rinse and repeat. Exactly the same thing. Make sure you've got a pivot in hand ready for when you're able to get that Arceus back, and then just kind of wait and hope that Alessandro cannot get the poison off the Decidueye. And if all else fails, let it do 40 damage with the poison damage, or at 30 plus a Zigzagoon, be barrel coin flip 100 damage.
Yeah, I don't know, because with the list as it is right now, we did see Edmund did discard the Zigzagoon, so I don't know if that's an
They
option.
did discard the Zigzagoon. I don't know if they run any retrieval. They might run ordinary Rod or Clara, so there's potential for it back, but probably 40 damage with poison isn't completely unreasonable, because one bird keeper's gone and they only run 2, I think.
Yes.
So there is potential that there isn't quite as much pivot, and no sobbles, so we can't drizzle for any pivots.
That's true.
So Alessandro doesn't look, apart from a hard retreat with the Decidueye, but with their slightly funny costings of their energy, because they don't run a lot of grass energy. It was very low counts of each.
Only 2, as I recall.
I think it's 3.
Oh, 3, okay.
I think it was 3. But they're running very low counts of 4 different types of energy.
Yes.
Which means that it's increasingly difficult, especially without Drizziles, to search for their energy searches, that they could then set that Decidueye back up. And if they leave anything else in the active, Edmund's in a position to knock it out.
Yeah, it's true. So I think that's going to have to be the best way going forward then. But, of course, things could be made more complicated if, say, this judge call results in some kind of prize penalty. Then maybe that might make things a bit trickier, because then, of course, Alessandro needs nest knockouts to get to the win.
Yeah.
And that kind of means that Edmund has less time to execute that poison strategy and to sort of get to where he needs to with that.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what the judges come back with. Hopefully either way, we'll see a great rest of the game, and the players will continue playing for us. We've seen that they're great sports.
Yes, no question.
So I'm sure that we'll have a good game regardless of what happens now.
You know, I think the most embarrassing judge call I've ever had, I don't remember how this happened once. It was at it wasn't like a huge tournament. It was either at like a league cup or something equivalent to that size before. You know, I don't exactly remember, but I somehow one time I set up for a game, put out 8 prize cards, and didn't notice until like a few turns in. That was a bit of a head slapper there.
A typical one is a really typical one that a lot of new players fall into is pre-releases and putting 6 prize cards out when it's supposed to be 4.
Of course, yeah.
So we get that one a lot at a local level when pre-releases are on.
Yeah.
There's still at a no-go for the time being, but. Yeah, that's one pitfall that a lot of people fall into, and probably the most common judge call that I get when events are on regularly is the pre-release. Oops, I put out 6 prize cards.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting how it goes, right? Because it's almost like the way to remember it is that the amount of prize cards you put out is the deck size divided by 10.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, 40 card deck. 4 prize cards,
yes.
60 card deck, 6 prize cards. And that's what I always tell the players in the player meeting is, don't forget.
Yeah. And then if you're doing the pick a pack?
Pick a pack,
yeah, 10 card deck, 1 prize.
It's like sudden death, but scarier.
Yeah. Yeah, still just keeping you guys updated. Still no word on the judge call over here, so it might be taking a little bit longer to resolve than anticipated.
Yep, we are still waiting. So I think we've just got to keep hanging on.
Yes.
But yeah, I play a lot of grass decks. They're my favorite. So Decidueye is something I know very well. And so playing against Decidueye is something that I can certainly comment on.
Makes a lot of sense,
if there's any way to beat it, because before Mew was around, it was still doing quite good.
Yeah, it was.
Dragapult could get around it because it has a shred attack. Before it rotated, we had Dialga that could do a similar thing, and we're back.
Yes, we are. Okay, so there we go. I'm not quite sure what the update on the penalty is. We'll get that for you as soon as we can.
It's a double prize penalty.
Oh, okay, so there we go. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I would have expected, honestly. So, yeah. This does make things more tricky for Edmund, because now Alessandro, what that means is Alessandro doesn't take 2 prize cards, but now he only needs to take 4 prize cards to win.
Yes, so he doesn't get the benefit of having the cards, but
he's
in a better situation. So
closer to winning the game already.
Yeah, and of course Edmund got to take that prize.
Yes.
So I don't remember what it was, but they managed to get a prize card, which at least helps out a little bit.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Like, I don't know whether the prize card went into like the discard pile or the hand, because Yes. Double price penalty has been issued there, and now it looks like Edmund is finally going for that strategy. Yes, so I believe the severe poison, I believe it's called.
Yes.
Yeah, so no damage, but then
Poison.
yes, 10 poison to the active as Alessandro does find the extra energy needed. Oh, and the boss's orders onto the big barrel straight away. No time wasted, knowing that could be a really solid out to doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, especially now that it is poisoned.
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
So yeah, no time wasted at all there. So maybe this is the turn where Edmund just attaches that third energy and just goes for it now and announces. Oh, what's the attack even called?
I don't remember.
We can look it up. So
it's
110 on a coin flip, right?
100 on a coin flip.
100 on a coin flip.
Straight 100 on a coin flip. So they need to that situation needs to take 4 lots of poison damage plus a heads on a coin flip.
Wow. And
but it is possible.
Yeah, there it is. Tail smash. Yeah, so tail smash, flip a coin if tails' attack does nothing. So I think there's no reason to not go for it now, especially if you know that the barrel's going to get KO'd from another splitting arrow next turn anyway. So I think this is definitely the right move to make. But and oh yeah, it looks like Arceus V-Star was the prize I was taking, because there was one in the prize cards. So
yeah. So there's the Crobat VMAX. So yeah, I think Edmund has definitely clocked on to what we believe is probably the best way out of this situation.
Yeah. It is definitely tricky now though, because you're already facing a really horrendously tough matchup, and now your opponent needs 2 less prize cards to win the game as well. So
of course it's a double turbo energy, isn't it? So actually it's 20 fewer damage, so it is 80. But
right, yeah.
But the Decidueye is still poisoned, and that's not changing.
Yeah.
Not yet.
No, not yet. And it looks like Edmund was able to get back the
Zigzagoon.
Yep. So the Headbutt Tantrum ability, putting 10 damage onto the Zigzagoon there, and it looks like it's going to be it's going to be using the ability, of course, that Industrious Incisors. Just needs to find an energy to attach, and then could go for that tail smash.
Go for the tail smash. If not, oh no, they went for Sharon.
Okay, I like this. I like this because knowing that you can't,
if
deal
you
with
can't attack.
Yeah, if you can't attack straight away, then better to save it, and then so that way it forces another boss's orders from Alessandro to damage it again. Especially
because Edmund knows now that Alessandro needs only 4 prize cards to take to win.
Yes.
Taking out anything at this point is scary, especially because Crobat VMAX would lend Alessandro 3 prize cards.
Yes.
So if they were to let that B-Barrel get KO'd, Crobat is in danger.
Yes, no question about that. So Bird Keeper being played now, switching into the Rowlet, drawing 3 cards. Now, there's 2 choices here. Either switch back into the Decidueye, or could just, go for the attacker. Does 60 to any Pokemon on the field. Could even knock out the Zigzagoon in the active with the weakness, right? Because weak to grass.
I believe it's only benched Pokemon.
Oh, it's only to bench, okay.
Yes, they have to hit a benched Pokemon.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, they went for the Bidoof.
Yeah.
That's, I completely understand that one. If they can't evolve that Bidoof, then theoretically Rowlet could be back into the bench, Decidueye forward. Oh, but there's Bibel.
Yeah, so... but of course it was already in the hand because Edmund was able to pick it up with the Sharon's Care, but... Yeah, going to want to find... I don't even know what he wants to find at this point, but just like drawing more cards, maybe to find something. 1 energy going on to the active. That way, the Zigzagoon can be retreated. And now we're going to see, yes, the sort of... No... Oh, actually, of course, that can get a knockout straight up.
Yes, it just knocks out Rowlet, yeah.
Yeah, good.
And then back it goes.
Into the Hooper. Now, this Hooper's going to take a lot of punishment here, unfortunately.
It is, and it's a little bit of a risky play, right? Because Leon.
Yeah, that's true.
We know that Leon's available in this deck.
And could be searched as well with a... Oh, Rare Candy into Big Shady.
They run 2 Rare Candy. So both of them are gone now, and they do not run Dartrix.
Well then, okay,
so it's quite a risky play.
It is, but maybe in this instance, knowing that you can... find an out to KO the only thing that can deal with your Decidueye makes it worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and that's why Alessandro's gone for it. So, Rare Candy and Palpad being retrieved from the Shady Dealings, and now just Palpad 2 boss's orders back into the deck after playing the boss's orders to bring up the barrel.
Wow, that's incredible. I love a good risky play. And that certainly was one that we weren't expecting. And, I mean, the Inteleon can attack.
Yeah, it can.
in this deck. So, and it does a decent amount of damage. There's 120 damage to the active, and then I think it is another 20 again on bench, similar to the Decidueye.
Yeah.
So, again, if things are damaged and Decidueye does get knocked out, it's not an impossibility to say that that Inteleon can attack.
Yeah, no.
They've scoop up netted now, but in the future.
Yeah, and one of the Alessandro getting one of 3 of his prize level balls, which of course is pretty good because that means next turn there could be a Drizzle coming down for a singular Shady Dealings.
And then they've already got the Inteleon in hand, so double Shady Dealings time all over again.
Yeah. Another Bidoof going down from Edmund.
Edmund is absolutely working these Bidoof to the bone.
Yes. He knows what's up. He knows that this is probably his best chance at doing anything resembling a significant amount of damage to the Decidueye, but there is the poison once again.
Yep, Decidueye is poisoned again. And let's not forget, Moltres is a thing still. So the more prize cards Edmund takes, let's not forget about Moltres.
That's a very good point, because that's the thing. You don't necessarily need Decidueye to see through the whole game. If it just buys you enough turns, then that can be enough by itself to make it so that you can set up your last few plays with something like Moltres to take the last few prizes, which works out pretty well. Level 4 getting played now to get another Sobble down. Of course, very important to keep that chain of Shady Dealings attacks going. And off the first Shady Dealings, Alessandro wasting no time grabbing the boss's orders to bring up that Bidoof and just make sure it gets KO'd before it can become anything scarier.
They do not want that Bidoof to become a problem, that's for sure, because at this point, a heads would knock out Decidueye.
Yeah, exactly, and definitely don't want that. So there's some more discussion going on about maybe the bench damage from Alessandro's attack.
They're going for Zigzagoon.
And
Hooper.
Yeah. Well, there might have been some damage forgotten to be put on before, so they might be fixing that. Yeah. So, yeah. Down goes the Bidoof. Some more splitting arrow bench damage going on, and
it's getting a bit scary because Zigzagoon could take a little KO next turn, and then that's leaving Alessandro only needing to take 1 more prize for the win.
Yeah, that's I think the problem Ed was running into. That prize penalty really scuppering his chances at a recovery, it would seem. I think there's not a crazy amount of time left, but given Alessandro needs 2 more prizes to win, I don't think it's going to be a problem.
No, Alessandro can do it.
Yeah.
A Pumpkaboo!
Is that
it?
Is that it? Is that Edmund conceding?
It is. Oh, they conceded with the Pumpkaboo just like the Dunsparce. I love it. What a champion.
Yeah, so there we go. Edmund Kuras being a very, very good sport and a very tough matchup, taking the loss in game 3 to make it so that Alessandro advances to 5-0-2 in this tournament, having 1 game 3 and 1 round 7 feature match.
That was so much fun.
That was so much fun. Like,
I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we did.
Yeah, it's always a shame when judge calls happen. It kind of it put a little bit of like a dampener on what could have been a really fun game 3. But these 2 guys, like I said, they're having fun, they're having a laugh about it, and I think the game 2 scoop up net will be immortalized in my mind forever, at least. It's
a fantastic play and one I've done myself, I'll admit. It's awesome, and it's a fun way to go out.
Yes,
when you can see absolutely no hope in that situation, you're like, well. And it was the top deck that made it for me.
Yeah,
it was the top deck that absolutely made it for me.
It was the sign from Marcus saying, "Yeah, sorry, Alessandro, you know what to do," and just
it's time.
There we go.
Oh no, they're fantastic players. You can see they were having fun. They're good sports. It's a shame that there was a judge call.
Yeah,
but
these things happen.
These things happen, and the judges always make the best decision they can.
Yeah. So with that, Alessandro, will advance, like we just said, onto 5-0-2, putting himself in very good stead to make day 2 with that record. Edmund Kuras also is not out by any means, because also being on a 4-2 record, 2 more wins and he will still be able to make it into day 2.
Absolutely. So it's worth them absolutely putting their best into the next couple of rounds. It's been a long day, but it certainly isn't over for either player.
No, certainly not. And we do have 2 more rounds of Swiss still coming up. That was round 7. This is a 9-round tournament. We are now getting to the absolute nail biters. We are getting to the win and in stages now, where people might be either on the edge of actually stealing their day 2 slot, or just making it, just cutting it a little bit short.
Too short. So it'll be really interesting to see the next few rounds leading us into day 2.
Yes.
Oh, these are the bits that get really nail biting.
Yeah. No kidding. So we're not quite sure if we have the interview ready for you guys yet, or if there will be one. Of course, that's unfortunately, it looks like no, that we're a little bit too short on time, unfortunately, for an interview this round because we're quite close to time. So no interview this time, unfortunately. But in that case, I believe we will throw it over to a quick break. So get yourself a nice beverage, hot or cold, doesn't matter which, as Ross Gilbert would say. And we will see you guys back very shortly for round 8. Don't go anywhere.